Yeah, totally different.
I've heard that one before.
This time is different, Jan.
To be a, and one example of that is that even you are attending today, Jan.
I usually try to make it in at some point.
Sure.
What is it? This time is the one of the 2 hours that you actually work? I think my connection is broken.
I can hear well.
I actually have a lot of delay, I think.
Let me see.
Hello?
Hey, Dom.
Yo. What's going on?
Getting ready to start.
Hey Dom, is this like your favorite Atlas brew this week?
Nah, I'm never saying that again, man. Ronald cooked me once. He said, Dominic, every Atlas brew is your favorite. And I was like, I had no response. I had no rebuttal. It was just like, okay, you know what? You got my ass.
I mean,
You'll
that's
learn,
just going
man.
to
You'll
get
learn.
better
It's
and
good.
better.
I don't know what either of you said.
Sorry, mate.
That's just because they get better and better every week.
Yeah, that would be a good reply.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Welcome, sir.
Well, I don't know what's going on with my connection, so maybe I drop sometime. So just FYI, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think we can get started in the meantime. If you stop hearing me, I'm sorry. But yeah, let's see. Let's start the brew. So we have the brew number 71 today, and we will be talking about politics. And for that, we have our man Jose. How are you, Jose, today?
Excited as a little penguin in Christmas night, Santi.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best
Oh,
description.
so when Jose says he's excited, it's all good. But when I say it, all hell breaks loose. Fine.
We were literally talking about that before you joined, bro. Literally. That when Jose says it's the real deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I introduce my co-host, also Dominic Bain. How are you, Dominic Bain? We already roasted you before even saying hi.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, glad to be here. Not excited at all. This is gonna be the worst brew ever. Nah, I actually looking forward to Jose talking a little bit about his politician career that he's been theory crafting up. Santi and myself, we have some questions that we want to ask, and we want to get a conversation going. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to be prepared for the conversation, you should go and download the PDF that we posted on the events channel. I will link it in the Atlas Brew channel again. So you understand what we will be talking about with the politician career, and yeah, just so everyone is in the loop. Don't worry, that PDF is only going to drain your wallet, so no big deal.
Hey, I've already downloaded it like 4 times, so don't tell me that.
You
bye
lost your
bye to
money.
your new Ethereum NFTs are done, bro.
Oh, we are
Oh
going. No, we
my
are not going there, bro. Please.
god! No way! You just said this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. So welcome to the Atlas Brew again. And as if you don't know what the Atlas Brew is, we do the Atlas Brew every Wednesday in the voice chat, and we have different topics. But for today, we will be talking about politics. And I think we can get started with some noteworthy news. We can start with the end of escape velocity stats, which are actually quite massive.
Wild.
They
That's
are
Yeah, it's pretty
massive.
freaking wild. It's pretty freaking wild. If you guys haven't seen the image, I'm gonna drop it in the Atlas Brew chat. 80 million Solana transactions, 73 million warps, 86 million scans, over 10 million loot found, 86,000 ship spawned, and 9,244 connected wallets. I would consider this a massive success. You know, I know some people didn't jive that much with the testing nature of it, but I thought it was a massive success. So anyone who participated in it, thank you, appreciate you.
For sure. 80 million Solana transactions is wild. And we not only tested our systems, but also Solana as well. And as you know, Solana is one of the best chains out there. And thank you, Leaks and Signal, for keeping the spam of the stats in the chat. I think it's important. But yeah, it's massive, and as you guys know, this was only literally just a test for movement, a little bit gamified with a couple prices, but having these stats in my eyes as the first iteration for Sage and the test is quite massive. So
Yeah,
big
and even
congrats to the whole
Toli,
community for it as well.
yeah, even Anatoly tweeted about us today. So, yeah,
Oh, I didn't see that.
I
You
didn't see that
didn't?
either.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jose,
Yeah,
now you need to send that in
come
the
on,
chat.
bro. Oh man, let me find it.
You need to send that in the chat now, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, welcome to being on the spot, Jose.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I
Who
don't
is
know
that?
how to write his name to find him on Twitter, bro.
Yeah, I found it.
You
He
found it?
all he
Anatoly
did
Solana is the founder of Solana.
was tweet 3 UFO emojis.
Bro,
Pack it up,
come on.
boys. Pack it up.
Be humble,
No-
bro.
Nothing to see here.
He could have sent 2 or 1, bro. It was 3.
Oh, okay.
With 3 UFOs. Yeah, we'll take
Yeah,
it.
bro, come on.
It's better than 1 and 2 UFOs, you know. So yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So yeah, Anatoly is the founder of Solana. If people don't know, so yeah, it's a good tweet. It's a good tweet. Then we also have the start of Core Act 2 coming on July 19th. So keep your eyes open for that one. I know that one of our friends here in the voice chat already leaked it, so the cover at least. So yeah, guys,
I
it's
wonder
gonna be good.
who.
As you know, Core went on a 2-month break and it's coming back. So keep your eyes open for Star Atlas Core, my friends.
We
It
might
comes
be
recharged.
we might be giving some covers away to people who come to San Diego to meet up. So
Ooh. Okay.
I just want rogue as
Let's
hell.
go, San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever said that, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Michelle
What do you mean? Who
is
said that?
watching you, Dominic. Don't go rogue.
yeah. I think we should also share the event now for that one.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
So
If you're in the area, yeah, come meet us. Michael Wagner's gonna be there. A lot of team members are gonna be there, and of course, you know, I'm gonna be there. The person you really want to see.
wow.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Can you
share.
take me to Dave and Buster's if I go?
Yeah, I'll take you to Dave and Buster's, bro.
Thank you.
I
I
need
love
to
you.
see pictures with Dom, guys. I need to see pictures with Dom. Like Dom is leaving the house. Like that should already make you
Bro,
go.
yeah, man. If
Yeah.
you
Ladies and
take a
gentlemen,
picture with Dominic, I am sending you an airbag.
ladies and gentlemen, my life revolves around Star Atlas. All right, I don't have time to go outside. I don't have time to touch grass. It's not in the cards. It's not on the agenda. But it is
Only
going to
Star
be in the
Atlas can
agenda.
make you touch grass.
It is going to be in the agenda July 19th in San Diego.
Jesus.
Be there.
Yes,
Doing
sir.
God's work.
I'm a salesman.
Don't get
What can I say?
Yo,
Dominic
Santi,
drunk,
if
guys.
the meetup is in a brewery, can I get Dom drunk, or is that against the rules?
That was exactly what I
Bro,
was going to say.
he's not old
Uh,
enough for that. Behave.
Don't get Dom drunk
Whoa,
because
come
he
on.
will just leak everything, guys. So make sure that whatever you do in the brew meetup, your objective should never be getting Dom drunk. Don't do that, guys. So that means
Oh,
you
we're
guys.
going on a
Wink,
live
wink.
as soon as he takes the second beer. What you mean?
Awesome. No, I want to see the pictures with some beers in your hands, guys. Have a nice time. I think it's gonna be great. So meet Michael, Dominic, more team members. There's already 56 people confirmed according to
56 now? Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
56. So
You better.
it should be a good one. It should be a good one.
Yeah, man. And the spots are limited, so I would make the description as soon as possible.
Yeah. So can you share Dom again the link so people can, if they are looking to go, they can find the.
I already had it handy, man. Look at this. I'm just so used. I'm just so used to being on the spot at this point.
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
Dom,
The
I
guy's
got
a
a question. Is
machine.
that
What's
are the
up?
team members that are supposed to be at the meetup all the team members that are going to be at the event, or is there going to be more people at the event?
I think there might be more people at the meetup that are going to the event. Like me, for example. Like I didn't plan on going to the event. I just plan on going to the meetup. I might go to the event still, just to be clear, but I'm just using me as an example here. But I think there's definitely gonna be team members at the event. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lazy whoa, hold the phone, dude. Hold the phone. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not lazy.
Okay, another thing is that the Bounty Bar released a song with Shadix, Movement, and Archetype.
Bro, that song, man.
Oh man, hold on. Let me get that song. Oh
You
my
guys should
god.
play this. I mean, it's well worth the time.
Should we play it?
I think we should, bro.
Hold on. All right, let me get it open.
Okay,
Let me get this
let's
bad
go.
boy open.
I have been listening this on loop while I'm writing. Man, it's super good. It's
It's a
high
spicy
quality.
Fotoli song.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm
Okay.
streaming it. We're definitely gonna need someone else to stream it too, to be honest.
I
But
got you.
Play it.
Jose, I think you might need to stream it yourself, and we can start it at the same time.
It's not full yet, so if it's full, then we do it. But let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
let's
play
go.
it, Dominic Bain.
Look at the production quality. Archetype, I know this
Whoa.
is you. I know this is you. The Gallia Vision. What's going on here? Am I in a movie? Is this the new Oppenheimer movie? Uh, uh, uh. Shout out to Shaddix. That guy is a beast.
Chumu Man as well.
It's getting a little spicy at this point,
Bro,
ladies and gentlemen. Not safe for work.
It's spicy. It's spicy.
Not safe for work, ladies and gentlemen.
This is awesome.
All I'm gonna say is there wasn't a single mention of the Mud faction. So
Who cares?
sucks to
about
suck. Sucks to be part of the worst faction.
Of course there is, bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got.
Yeah,
Jesus, man.
great song. Awesome. So yeah, that's the song created by the Bounty Bar, Shadix, Movement, and Archetype.
Archetype.
So awesome.
Archetype
Awesome.
edited the video. Shaddix is the mixer and the vocals you hear in the background. And of course, Moonman was the guy rapping. So
Yeah.
congrats,
And I
guys.
just want to add something here. I wanted to say happy birthday to Buffalo. He just posted in the
Oh,
chat that
happy
it's
birthday!
It's
Happy
his
birthday,
birthday,
Buffalo.
so let's everyone tag Buffalo and give him a happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday, Buffalo. He's the goat. He's from the Spanish-speaking community. I met him in ChimeraCon. Really, really nice guy, and also Argentinian. So yeah,
Oh,
let's
man.
go, Buffalo. Vamos, vamos. Connect. Okay, so what else? What else do we have? Oh, the Gargantua video. I think that's incredible as well, and people should go there and give it some love. So if the song was high quality, like this is also like insanely high quality. So
This guy's literally skydiving. He's
yeah,
he's
Man,
skydiving for sand right now.
I'm
Hold on,
not
let
gonna
me.
lie. I got emotional watching that video, bro.
Oh my, we're always getting emotional, man. It's true. Someone send that, and I can't unsee it. We're just emotional people, you know. It is what it
we're
is.
emotional. Yeah, we are
Yeah,
emotional.
we are emotional Latin American citizens. It's true.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, guys, make sure to, if you don't want to see it now, like definitely add it to your list and take a look when you have some time, because it's definitely worth it. Like that video is incredible. So yeah, make sure to go check it out. It's honestly like incredible. So yeah, yeah. Go check
It's
it
a
out.
huge win.
Yeah, huge to all of you. Huge to all of you. Another news is that Star Artisan, the Star Atlas jewelry, is available now to purchase items. They just launched the website, so
Yeah, I actually just saw this before the brew started. I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm not even kidding. I'm buying like at least $100 worth of stuff. They have a bunch of Oni, Mud, Ooster Faction, jewelry, some other stuff that's super cool. And everything is 10% off today through August 9th. I'm being a salesman today,
definitely one of
and I'm
the
fine with
coolest
that.
ways to represent Star Atlas out there, for sure. So
Yeah. Go check it out. Do it.
yeah, recommend it. Recommend it.
I also think you can pay an
And
Atlas, actually. I saw a comment, but
yeah, they added
someone
now payments.
yeah, so you can pay an Atlas too. So you can use your emissions from Faction Fleet, get some Star Atlas jewelry. That's a win. That's a win-win.
Absolutely. Use the emissions for that. Nah, it's definitely a W right there,
Freaking
for
awesome.
sure. So what else? What else? I think we can dive into the politician career now. Um, so Jose, can you give us some little context on the PDF that you put together?
Yes, for sure, friend. This is something that, as you guys know, it's really close to my heart. The idea of how we are going to interact with police in Star Atlas. So I wanted to kickstart the conversation now that we have the DAO and try to at least set up some basis for us as a community to start working on the theory crafting and how the political career should evolve and what are the bases and values that we should strive for players that are interested in being politicians in our metaverse.
Awesome.
So
So sorry to
yeah, go
interrupt you, Jose,
no
but
go
we'll
go
be
go.
basically going over the PDF that we posted in the events chat, so everyone can go and take a look. Let me actually link that again so everyone has it. But before, I think it's worth it, in case like we have some new people, to go over a little bit the latest updates and things that we have from the Star Atlas DAO. So as you know, Star Atlas always says power to the people, and that is going to be enabled via the DAO. So you can participate in the Star Atlas DAO now by locking your polis and getting polis voting power. Depending, you get more polis voting power if you look for more time, and also emission rates are higher. So you can go to govern.stratlas.com to see that and find the lockers if you want to be involved. And the idea, long term, the vision for Star Atlas is basically for the game to be owned by the players. And that is going to be enabled via the Star Atlas DAO. And we just had a major release I think it was last week. I'm lost in time here at Star Atlas. 1 day is a week, but we launched the PIP1, which is the first ever Star Atlas proposal that can be found at govern.staratlas.com/proposals. And you can take a look at it, and it's the very, very first proposals with actually set the objective is to set the basis for the DAO in the long term. And just say, I'm not sure if you can comment a little bit about what PIP1 is, and just if in case people missed that one.
Yeah, for sure, friend. In the history of constitutions, there are mainly two types of documents that exist to rule a society. We have analytic constitutions, like the Brazilian one, where you have a very heavy constitution with, like, for example, in the Brazilian case, with over 200 articles, that it details every step of how the state or the government or the nation should work. In PIP 1, we opted for the other path, which is the synthetical constitution. Here in this document, you'll find the most basic points to drive forward the conversation so the members of Star Atlas community can actually participate like the founding fathers or the founding politicians of the new constitution on the discussions and the merit of the document. Here, what you guys will find are basically definitions, values, a very simple yet direct legislative process, and how the works in the real world will function for the Star Atlas Foundation. It is, by all means, an involving document, so you guys will need to get, and we've seen this massively by the community as we have, let me see, my site is bad, 64 million PvP interested in the discussion of this document. So you'll soon be advancing to the next stage of our legislative process, and we'll be starting the discussions around PIP1. We'll be making improvements, we'll be giving them detailment, and all of this will be done in the forums where people with their police voting power can comment, reply, propose ideas, discuss stuff. So it's a very exciting time, right?
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
super awesome to have something like this.
And it's massive, right? Like this is the tool again that we will use and that the community will use for many, many things, like setting rules, providing feedback to the team, creating new proposals. Like it's massive, and this is just the very, very beginning. And BIP1 is used as the test also, not only to start but also to test of the Star Atlas DAO as a whole. So you can see at the top of the proposal that we have different status, and it will keep advancing in the status depending on if it has enough PvP involvement and everything until it's voted and then executed on. So that's very briefly like what the current status of the Star Atlas DAO is and what we launched last week. Did we miss anything here, Jose, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's overall like that. Just to answer something to Icy, we can get BCM to give you more details, but the replies, reviews, documents, etc., they'll be created by PvP supporting the comments or proposals, and overall, you'll be able to talk, discuss, find alignment with other players, both in Discord and the DAO's forums. But we'll have more insight on those details when we move to the next phases of the DAO discussion. Okay, so hang tight for a little while longer, my friend.
Yeah. And that opens up like a whole new side of Star Atlas and a whole new career, right? Just where we see the first politicians in Star Atlas, and it's gonna be a gameplay style as well. There's going to be people who probably dedicate full time to just um, their full time in Star Atlas to just be participants of the DAO. So with that, I think Jose came up with a proposal on how that for the politician not to be only involved in the DAO, but to also be something else, right? For the politics career to be also part of the game itself, right? Jose, am I describing this right?
You are, bro. That's exactly what it is. And a very important disclaimer that we need to make is that since we are in the brew, this is absolutely and only theory crafting, guys. This is something that I put on outside of my work hours because I'm deeply passionate about this topic. And I know there are others equally passionate about this. So, yeah, we'll talk about what could be, not what is, or not even something that the game design team is currently thinking right now, even taking in consideration that this is like the last career that will be implemented in the Star Atlas universe. And the reason for that is because it's massive, it intertwines with all other gameplay features, as we'll see during my very brief presentation. And what we want today is to get you guys involved. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to tell me I'm a mad penguin, that this doesn't work. Or you can also come and say, Jose, this is really freaking cool. I want to be the governor of my own region and I'll rule things with my fist of steel. You know, things like that. I feel that community feedback is the most valuable asset that we have in Star Atlas, and this is our strength, in my opinion. So yeah, this is your space. There is no bad ideas. There is nothing like that. So we are here in a safe space to discuss stuff. So
Jose,
that's what
this
we're
doesn't
going
work.
to do. This doesn't work. All right,
Sorry, bro.
someone kick Dominic from the chat, please.
What happened to my safe space, man?
Bro, safe space only for Usters. Sorry, bro.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I just posted the PDF again in the chat. So just so everyone is on the same page, I think you guys can download it and open it. So we all know like what we'll be talking about. But again, like this is long-term vision from our penguin on how the politician career should go from just being in the DAO to actually engage in the different aspects of the Star Atlas game itself. So, with that said, I think we can start diving into it.
Yeah, and I think that the first thing that's important for us to understand is what are the objectives of a politician or the politician career inside Star Atlas. In my mind, I have nailed down like 4 points that I think are the most important ones for this career. The first one is making polis and PvP innate game resources. I think that this is the most important part of this as gameplay feature because this is what we have been talking about since the white paper and the econs paper. Polis must be a measured asset inside the Star Atlas universe. And not only that, it should serve to allow different players to shine. Like I think this is something that's like fundamental for Star Atlas. We have people like Star Fox who are freakily out of world in terms of driving or and space combat. We have people like Yon who are like medium players in StarCraft 2 with good actions per minute and things like that. And we need to allow those guys to have places where they can have fun as well. So the more different possibilities, I'm joking with you, Yon, don't get mad, bro. The more the more different career paths with more different logics that are able to aggregate in the whole of Star Atlas, the more open of a game project will be, the more people will feel fulfilled, and more options will give to players. So Maybe one season you want to go and play only the political game, and the other you are tired of politics, you go to the economy, you go to the industry, you go to space exploration. So yeah, I wanted to give the politician career a very unique path for him. And the one thing that I also wanted to do is that since it's a game structure, I don't want someone with 1 billion police locked for 10 years to rule all the galaxy. Like, I don't want the politician career to be pay to win. And I created a system that mitigates the use of PvP to in-game progression. And this is like one of the most important points, I think, of this proposal. We'll talk about that. And finally, the last point that I make is that politics must and will be connected with other gameplay loops. So we'll discuss today the influences of politics in the economy, in the military, exploration, and even the lore, making the political world in Star Atlas meaningful like it is in real life. So those are the objectives for today.
That's great, and it also makes it more real in some way, right? Um, but let's stop here before and see if there are any questions. I see one question from Egonact in the chat that says, "If I understand correctly, this will create tokens we fill up with PvP as they level up, and place these tokens across the map to express our PvP. To express our PvP. The tokens being politician crew.
Uh,
Did he
we
get it right?"
Yeah, I'm going to discuss a little bit about how the gameplay mechanics would work like Egonath, but what I think right now is that what would happen with a politician crew member, and this is the fundamental structure of this proposal. Crew members are going to be the main topic of this career, like in the other careers where you progress the skill level with a crew member. This would also happens with crew members in Star Atlas, in the political gameplay, but it's not like you get new tokens, but crew members will be able to receive police voting power from your own personal wallet and other players' wallets through the player profile and deck platform. But the limit of how much a politician crew member can take is the limit of their level skill up. So for example, you can have 1 million PvP, but if your crew member is not high level enough to absorb all of that, you need to distribute this PvP to other crew members and level them up together. And this is going to be one of the main features, like how you distribute the PvP, not only for, that you won, but for the other people that support you politically in the Stratos gameplay. And to have influence in anywhere in the galaxy, you need to lock your crew member, the one that's doing the politics activity, in one region of influence. And one region of influence would be a regional DAO or the faction DAO. One thing that's super important to say here is that my proposal separates the two worlds in Star Atlas. One is the in-game world composed of regions and factions, and the other is the Star Atlas DAO. In the Star Atlas DAO, you are yourself, you vote with all the PvP that you want, and you can do whatever you want. In the regional and faction DAO, this is inside the Star Atlas universe, this in-game activity, and it's gated by in-game progression. So you won't be able to get 1 billion PvP going out of, like in the first day to influence stuff, just as you won't be able to drive a Titan ship with a crew member who has like level 1 piloting skills, you know?
So just let me know if I'm getting this right, bro.
Okay.
You basically like it kind of limits a little bit the how much influence you could have in a regional DAO, because you will have to work to get that influence in some way. Like you will have to have dedicated crew members in that region to actually like govern that via them.
Exactly.
Am I getting
It's
it right? So
yeah, yeah.
what I what I think, and again, like I may be getting it wrong, but is that in some way like this benefits the actual players, right? Because
Yeah.
you have to be playing, you have to be leveling up to actually and be playing in in that zone specific in that region to have more chances of getting your proposals approved and to have more chances of having influence over that region.
You're exactly right, Santi. What I want here is that if you like politics, if you want to be part of this career path, you want to be aligned with your region or your faction. Like later in this presentation, I'll show you guys what's going to be the role of a politician inside the game. But basically, you'll be fighting for certain people and groups' interests in the regional or faction DAO. So you'll be like representing a you'll be representing them in the discussions of the DAO. We have players that simply they don't want to be following voting on pips and etc., but they own policies. So they come to you and say, Jose, the policies that I want for a region is low taxation. I don't want to see the region giving benefits to different players. I want us to focus only on protecting ourselves. And if you agree with that, they'll delegate. Uh, they'll delegate to you the their police voting power, and you can use their police voting power to express more power inside the political system of the region. So basically, you need to make the people that you represent happy. And there will be three different kinds of people that you need to make it happy uh, in the DAO. But we'll get to that point later. I think that it's better that we start with the conceptualization of how this career could work and to take it slowly, because there's a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover, but also another thing that I'm getting here, Jose, is that this protects the players from the quote unquote whales. Because if someone, like, imagine that I have a lot of police locked and
Mhm.
that I want to take over a region. I'm a whale and I want to take over a region. Um, with this system, I will have to grind a little bit in that region to level up my
Yes,
characters and have them
exactly.
working there. So I couldn't be just going there and taking over with my PvP, but I will have to collaborate with the people in the region. I will have to work together with them and level up my stuff in there,
Yeah,
right?
or you need to buy the players that are doing this activity, but you need to buy people who are invested in that DAO, that lives in that DAO, that have created their careers in that DAO. So yeah, and the one important thing is that even if you are a whale, I think it's really hard to compete against a deck, for example. Because, for example, let's say I represent one of the decks of Star Atlas in a region. My whole guild can delegate PvP for me, you know? Uh, and if they delegate, even a whale will have a hard time facing you because a guild can have more players playing the political game. They can divide their resources between those players to influence the political instance in the region. So yeah, this system was created to level up or to try to make things uh, to give a little bit of equilibrium between the powers, the economic power, and the in-game progression system. Yeah, you are correct, bro.
Just I see a question out there.
Sure, bro.
That is, what happens if my characters die? Like my
Uh,
NPCs or my
your
crew members who are
yeah, man.
dedicated to politics, they die, and I
Yeah,
lose them.
man. Don't let your character that's dedicated to politics go to the high risk zone. And it's not like you are losing your PvP, but you are losing the vessel that allows you to use your PvP.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like that guy, you trained him. He's a guy that's well known in his region. He holds influence over other players. He can by himself hold 1 million PvP. So man, that's someone that you need to take care of. Just like in real life, you know, if we let the president die, chaos issues, right? Because he's the
Yeah.
one that holds together the stuff. So
Exactly.
don't
And
let that happen.
I see from Mustache in the chats. He's saying if a high level gets assassinated, that is holding the whole deck police. You have to start from scratch, and you lose effectiveness from all the deck. Well, I would say like if you're a deck and you control a region and you're using one of those characters to basically take care of the politics, as Jose was saying, if that character reaches a point where it dies, it's because you probably lost that region already technically, right? Because
Yeah.
you should protect that guy that has the most uh,
PvP capacity.
vessels, yeah,
Yeah,
PvP capacity, right?
exactly. And it's very intuitive, you know, like if you are and one of the most important things for acquiring PvP is simply being in the political game daily and doing stuff. Just like in real life, in my model, the politicians gather XP by doing political activities. They will know more people, they will get more influence. Just by doing daily and constant activities, your characters are going to become better vessels of PvP. So, sending those guys to the front lines of the high risk zone or something like this is not advisable at all.
Just someone is trying to put you on the spot out there, and I'm going to collaborate for that. What if like the whales make a super deck? I think Yon is saying.
A super deck,
Yeah.
even though, man, like, I don't know, bro. Like, how many regions the whales of Star Atlas creating a deck could rule? That's a good question.
You're
Uh,
stressing over that one, huh?
Hack?
No,
What?
I'm thinking here because you know this is exactly why we have this brew here to think about stuff. And to be honest, they would need to play the game a lot to rule over many different regions, you know? Uh, because the system here, I think that like you'd need support from players. Even let's say a whale rules a region and they rule this region to benefit themselves. Would you play in that region? Knowing this, that's ruled by whales that are only thinking about themselves? What you do is simply leave the region and the whales get wrecked, you know? So, yeah, you are not bound to play in the region that the whales rule at all. So, yeah, I don't see whales being able to manipulate the system that strongly with what I'm proposing right now.
Cool. Sorry, just I had to put you on the spot.
No, no, this is awesome. This is what we are here for. So maybe I could get you guys share some of my thoughts over the real fun stuff that players could do once they progress in their political careers. Like what I envision that's going to be super cool is that every regional and faction DAO in Star Atlas are actually game structures. Like, for example, let's say we have the region of planet Carvum, which is one of the most important regions in the Star Atlas universe in terms of lore, because that's where the Iris Academy exists and it's a huge place for creating knowledge and things like that. This region, it has its own army, it has its own policy regards taxation, it has foreign politics, it has lots of different positions and gameplay loops that exists for the region to function, right? It will have a marketplace, and in this marketplace, some goods can be outlawed, some goods are allowed, and who is going to choose that? The people, the politician crew members voting together on that stuff. And eventually, a majority will be elected for this region, and the elected party, in my mind, will have some positions to fill in the power structure of the government. So let's say I become the governor of this region, and I have Santi and Dominic with me in my political party. What I'm going
We
to
won.
do is allow Santi to be the general of our region. So right now, at this moment, the player, Santi, through his political crew member, acquires the power to use or to at least issue orders to the armies of the region. So Santi will be responsible for doing patrols. If he wants to create a program like Score, where players land ships to the region, Santi is going to be the one selling how much Atlas you are getting every day and stuff like that. Dominic, on the other hand, will finally receive the economic levers of the region. So if Dominic wants to lower taxes, he'll do that. If Dominic wants to outlaw goods, he'll do that. And myself, as the governor of the DAO, I'll be the one uh, maybe vetoing proposals. I'll be the one discussing the different interests and making political alliances and things like that. And in my mind, you'll be able to place the crew members in those positions, and this will give players the control of that. So basically, we'll have a gameplay loop in Star Atlas of management of the regional DAO through the political system. And I think this is something that I would really love feedback from the community on what you think about that.
I have feedback. I think that was a great idea of me getting the levers there, Jose. I feel
I
like
know
it'd be
what
we'd be in a peaceful world if Dominic Vane had the levers.
Imagine that. I'm glad that there's no one from Ecom here right now.
Well, you will just destroy your regional DAO in that case, not a big deal.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Skill issue.
Um, so let's stop here. Let's pause here real quick. Let's see if there are like any questions or any comments. Guys, feel free to unmute as always. Like this is open mic style. So if not, we keep going.
I saw Bar said it really shows that there is no one from the econ team. I'm an honorary member, first of all.
Yeah, come on, Bar.
I'm like the sixth man of the year.
What will be the first law you pass in your regional DAO, Dom?
You put me on the spot here, man. But maybe
Yeah.
free tank ships for everyone. Something light.
Sounds
Yeah,
sustainable. Sounds
Yeah.
sustainable
sounds
to me.
awesome.
Yeah.
Something a little light. A vote for me is a vote for. Actually, I'd change it. Tank ship to Maiden Heart. I think the Maiden Heart is so freaking beautiful.
Yeah, Jed is asking a question. Yes, you need to look police to have PvP, Jed. And we can create a system where the politicians of the regions are elected from time to time, you know? So, yeah, this will keep the governance structure changing. Hence, if the governing party is not delivering to the people that lives in the region, and it also creates a mechanism where they need to attend to players' desires instead of the NPCs' populations, and that's something that I really want to share with you guys as well.
Do
Mm,
you think we can talk a little bit about how can you level up in this career?
yeah, for sure. Um, I foresee, like, I wanted to create something that made the politician career feels dynamic and exciting. And but also I wanted to keep it unique and different from the other gameplay loops that comes from the on the other career paths in Star Atlas. So I was thinking that uh, I would create two different two different leveling up progression systems, and it's one system with two variables here. And the politician would need to balance or at least decide how they are going to behave with three different groups. So let's start by telling like what you are going to do on a daily basis as a politician. What I foresee is that every politician will be faced with individual events and global events. An individual event will be something very close to a quest, where different factions and NPC populations will come to the politician and ask them to perform tasks for them, or defend their interests, or vote in peeps in their favor, and things like that. Every individual quest, so this will be like you farming reputation directly with different groups, and you can choose to support some groups and others not. And there will be rewards associated with doing that. You would also need to know that by doing that, you will be also sacrificing, most probably sacrificing reputation with other groups that will have different interests than that. Aside from those individual events, there would be global events, where every politician in the region would be called to manifest themselves over what the DAO should do in that situation. So let's say your stash system is suddenly affected with a drought. So food is scarce right now. And you need to vote whether to use the regional DAO money to buy food or let the people fend by themselves. By doing that, and this is one of the systems that I'm thinking about, if you vote to buy the resources from other places, you use the DAO treasure and you acquire, let's say, 1 million food for the DAO, for the region. The NPC population that lives in your region, they will be happy with you. But the players, the actual players, us, they might be unhappy because you are using their money to buy food for NPCs. This is just this is just an example that I gave on spot, but this is the kind of logic that I want to do. And this actually shows the balance that I wanted to propose for this system, that it's divided between pleasing the players, the NPC normal populations, and the NPC factions that exists in the Star Atlas universe. So let's say you are the governor or you are a politician in the medium risk zone. You need to please the population that lives in your planet, the other factions that want to do business and have political relationships with your region, and the players that live there. So for example, let's say you are in a zone where the Jarvik are close. The Jarvik, they will want to exert influence over your world, and the players in that DAO need to choose how they will engage with the Jarvik, you know? So
How do you know if you? I don't know if I missed something, Jose, but how do you know if you're policing the people there?
yeah, in that when you call for a vote, there will be very clear displeased, like it will be two paths. At least this is how I think it. And there you see, if you choose the right path, you get plus X reputation with this group, and if you choose the other path and lose some reputation with other group, for example, or sacrifice a part of the treasury of the DAO, or you go to the other path where you get bonus from with the sad faction and etc. And everyone in the region, every politician at least, uh, will know how is your political instance with the said faction, you know? So, for example, you know in the region that at some point your reputation with the Jarvik is very low. What I'm currently thinking is that if your reputation with the Jarvik is currently low, you have a higher chance to trigger events with the Jarvik and bad events, you know? So, for example, you might see Jarvik raiding parties appearing in your star system to plunder players, to attack players, to attack
So
farms, and things like that.
this will make the NP. So if you are setting bad rules in your regional DAO, you will know because the Jorviks will come and attack you. Is that what you're saying, Jose?
It's not necessarily that you are making bad rules, but you are not pleasing the Jarvik. And then you need to balance like whether you want to please the Jarvik and get the benefits of having a good reputation with them, or you want to please other groups in your region and getting the benefits of having a good relationship with them. So, for example, if you have a good relationship with the Jarvik, they might bring to your market uh, illegal goods that it's very rare to find in other places in the galaxy, you know?
Yeah.
So,
But
this is
I could buy them from Skull and Bones, man.
yeah, I mean, if you have someone from Skull and Bones close to you and willing to sell, for sure.
Yeah.
So you develop a relationship with Skull and Bones instead of the Jarvik.
So will the Jorvik apply to any region? Like, will this be part of like the politics career on every region, Jose?
Sorry, bro, I think I missed your question.
If the Jorvik relationship management, let's say, will apply for any region.
Not necessarily. Like, for example, let's say you are in one of the regions in the safe zone. You would not be in contact with the Jarvik because they inhabit the medium zone and the high risk zone. So, yeah, every region will have the factions that are close to that system, and those are the ones that you might need to influence. But to be honest, I think that the most important people to influence is the population, the NPC population in your home star system. This is something that I also uh, uh, have thought about. I think that having population as one of the variables in the Stratless metaverse would be super fun. A happy population could drive productivity. If you manage to grow the population, I think this would help getting end game content, like you'd be able to finally start crafting titanships because you have specialized work force and things like that. And the population would also propose things for the DAO in order to receive benefits. So, for example, let's say it like that, just an example shooting out of the nowhere, like you have a star system that's composed of punabs. And punabs, they eat a lot. Like those guys, they are always eating and something like that that's native to them. So the punabs will come to the regional DAO and say, hey, we want lots of candy bars or something like silly like that. If the DAO buys them the candy bars, they get a happiness buff. They will perform better while in this star system, etc., etc. If you make the punabs mad, they will be lazy, they will not work, so your productive will decrease, but you also won't spend the DAO's money. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that I want to create. And the players that like this type of management game, the type that gets lots of random events and need to react and make hard choices of how to behave and how uh, to choose. I think they players that like this kind of game will really like being part of the politics career. It's not for everyone, I know this, but mm, it's not intended to be to everyone, but to create a path for people that likes this kind of gameplay to have a place for them in Star Atlas.
So just let me give you my two atlas here.
Give me, bro.
I think adding NPCs to this whole political gameplay maybe makes it a little bit too complicated. I'm not sure what
Mm,
the community thinks. Like, I like the aspect of having a different way of governing the regional DAOs in the sense of like humans actually having to put in the work in that region and leveling up and everything. But at the same time, I think with everything that you will be having to take care of in the regional DAO to manage one, also having to take care of NPC relationships will be a lot,
you think
in my
it's
opinion.
too much?
I don't know. I would like to see what the community thinks.
Yeah,
Hey
can we
guys,
make?
how's it going?
Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
man.
Yeah. Awesome. Topic. I love this, like the politics in the game, and I really love this serious side of Star Atlas. So, we kinda had this kind of relationship with NPC in the World of Warcraft, but it's not as complex as you mentioned right here. The kind of strategy that Star Atlas is going toward it is way more complex. It's kind of like multidimensional because in World of Warcraft, your relationship with a race as an NPC, like everything goes back to you as a player only and only. But here we have the kind of relationship that is going to affect everyone, including your players, including everyone that is like having activities in your region. So yeah, as Santi mentioned, it's going to be way more harder, but that's what I believe make it like fun, because you have to have a team of economists, of politicians, of theory craft people that can manage this stuff all together. It's not just like uh, playing, you know.
Yeah. hmm It's it's gonna be fun for sure if this proposal gets approved or whatever for game design to design that. But I think people actually are disagreeing with me. They like the complex system. I just posted a poll, guys, for you to go and vote in the Atlas Brew chat. I'll repost it here so you can go
Man,
and vote.
it's tired. This is interesting.
It's
Like,
tight. Yeah, yeah. So should the NPCs be part of the politics game? Yes or no? That's the poll, and it's on the Atlas Brew chat right now. If you guys want to go and get your voice in, um, we should start doing this with
I'd like
voting
to throw
power.
my 2 cents in if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
That's
can I? I'm so sorry, guys, but can I have a question and then I'm gonna drop by and be a listener. So sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but like everything that you mentioned, like so far, like for example, UAE has sort of politics that, like for example, if you have a business in their country, you don't have to pay taxes, and they're like following the same policies to your crypto as well. So I'm assuming there would be the possibility to, for example, uh, changing the policy of your region in a way that incentivizes people, for example, tax-free policies and stuff like that. To as also the demographic, you mentioned the demographic situation. You can like make people to migrate to your region. Is that correct?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is one of the things that you can do. You can lower taxes. You can incentivize populations to come to your region by giving them benefits and stuff like that. This is totally under the DAO rule.
bro. I imagine like your advertisement
Awesome.
for your Snow being like Jose Regional DAO. Don't worry, where we don't worry about Jorbix. something like that. Move to Jose's region
Yeah,
now.
exactly. This would be super fun.
So the two
Something
cents
like
that I
that.
wanted to throw in
Yeah,
earlier
please.
was if we're talking about having NPCs as part of the political spectrum, I personally think that that is a great thing. And the reason why is because we're talking this is like the end game. Everybody could have chosen to level up the different things as the careers have been slowly released. And so this is end game. We should be able to make policies and then pay the consequences of bad policy. So if, for example, somebody puts the uh, policies such that there's oppression in the area, why not have that trigger roving bandits that, when the population gets too bad, they revolt, just like Stellaris? Why not have it to where the NPCs react to great policies? So, like, if you have a bunch of great policies, you get more people immigrating in. But then on the other hand, you have to turn around and protect your people because what if the policies are geared towards production and you have great food sources out there and then the Jarvik get caught wind of it and you have to protect your stuff from raiding bandits that want an easy win, like there are people in the world in the Wild West, if you will, that when they see easy opportunities, they're going to take it.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. And I'm super passionate about making the because guys, one thing that I really want to do here is that I want the players that want to play the political game to feel that their gameplay loop is meaningful, and I want to make it as hard as being one of the guys like in the high risk zone. If you manage to get a crew member to be the governor of an entire region in Star Atlas, you should feel the weight on your shoulders of how important that is, because you'll be responsible for a lot of players' gameplay expectations. You'll be protecting them from attacks of other people. So this is like being the best player in the combat PvP system, but in the political world. There's needs to be a good degree of complexity to make this an engaging and fulfilling gameplay loop. Like, of course, there's a learning curve. You start small, just farming reputation with different groups. But when you reach the level of being the governor of a region, bro, you should be dealing with hard stuff. It should be hard. It should be easy to mess up if you fail negotiations. And yeah, I think this would make the career super exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone else want to get their 2 cents in? We have some extra time.
Yeah, guys, share with us. I want to hear feedback.
Good question for
I will
everybody.
go.
Yeah, not
Share it,
guts. I
Oh,
think
friend.
started.
Uh, yeah, if NPCs go into politics, do they have to be backed by real polis?
The NPCs, they won't participate directly on the votes. It will be like, for example, let's say the Jarvik in that region of space, they have a fleet, right? They have a fleet, they will be flying around, they have an economy, they have their group agenda and things like that. If you are cooperating with them in your region politics, they won't vote, they won't have a voice there as a faction. But if you are cooperating with them, they will provide you benefits associated with their lore and gameplay structure. If you defy them, if you say, fuck off, we rule this piece of the galaxy, they will set raiding parties to go to your star system, and your players will need to fend against them and spend resources doing that. But they can also acquire resources from destroying their fleets. So yeah, I want there to be this balancing of decision making.
Okay, and does that faction have unlimited funds to send after you then, or how does that work?
Yeah, the way that I want this to work is that they are in-game factions like every other, you know. So, for example, the Jarvik will have a presence in the Stratos map. They'll have X amount of
Yeah,
fleets, and they need to distribute that along the map. They will have their own crafting loops and etc. And they choose like how much they hate you will make the balance of what they do against you. You know,
all right.
sounds cool.
I
Yeah,
think
sounds cool.
Notcat's unmuted.
Yeah, not cats.
Well, is he still here? I don't find him. Okay, cool. Are there any 2 cents, any questions, any twatless? Anyone who wants to unmute and add something? But I think I lost the poll, Jose. I think people want NPCs to have some level of involvement, at least reaction in the politics. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I
quite
think.
cool.
Yeah, I think the people want some serious challenges and fight against. And those secondary factions, guys, not necessarily all of them want to kill you if you have bad reputation with them. Some of them, like for example Panemorpha, they would play a political game, economic games against you. So they'll try to embargo goods from your star system and things like that. You know. So different groups will have different ways of helping or prejudice or tempering your regions, you know, and all of them will be tied to the lore, to the game economy, and things like that.
Okay, I missed a few questions and I asked which ones and I got some facepalm reactions. So I think I have to read a couple questions for you, Jose, before people riot at me, before I lose the political game. Um,
Um,
Bohemian is saying
awesome.
if there can be fraud at the polls.
I don't think if there could be fraud at the polls, I think this would add another layer of complexity that, yeah, maybe entertaining, but possibly not until we have a very solid ecosystem. What happens when NPC becomes too powerful? Yeah, you have to band against them if that becomes the case. Uh, One thing that the DAO, the regional, can do is like place bounty hunters against NPCs, leaderships, and things like that. This is all part of the political game. And if you feel that the NPCs are becoming too much of a threat, you just set boundaries, you prepare players, and you fight them off. You know? So yeah.
And I think the AI will plot against your politics reign, Jose.
Oh,
You will
for
have to
sure,
be
bro.
fighting that all the
That's
time.
what we are expecting, right? It wouldn't
Yeah,
be fun if this wasn't the case.
yeah. I will prompt my AI saying, you need to cause a massive riot in Jose's reign. So we can destroy Oosters. We can plot against all the Oosters
Bro,
because
the Usturs are the
they're
fathers of AI,
clearly
bro.
the worst
You
faction.
can't you can't get it. You can't win against us, bro.
Bro, how can you support something that can be hacked, man? Like you could be hacked, Jose. I could hack you and make you kill all the Oosters.
Bro, you can get sick, bro. From if I put you out in the rain, you get sick and you go, oh, and
Bro,
die, bro.
if I'm putting you out in the rain, you probably don't even work, bro, because
Bro, we are in Nox, bro. We can deal with
nah,
rain.
nah, nah. Oosters suck, by the way. If there are any
Hey
Oosters
guys,
out there.
I agree that
Hater.
just wanted to ask a question. Hi
Yeah.
everyone,
Hey
Hey,
Ray.
this is
Ray.
Ray V. So, the so basically, is it mandatory that someone would have to take the role of a politician because what if there's a sector that doesn't
have anyone who takes up that role? Can anyone just come in? I know you said earlier that you'd have to garner the support and the PvP of the people in that region with what you might propose that would help the region. But if, let's say, there is no one who steps up or is voted in, does that sector just get taken over by Jarvik? Like, and now you're forced to make a decision and to put someone in a position. I could see this espionage type of gameplay as well on a different note take place, where you have people who are faking, just like in the real world, propped up governments and dictators of sectors where no one knows any better and they're all fooled. And over time, this would be evident because now you're not garnering the favor of the people based off of what you're proposing to be passed. But yeah, just some thoughts that were going through my head. What if there's no one who steps up or is voted in a particular sector? Like how's it ran?
I love the question, Ray, my friend. And I'll tell you one word of wisdom that I heard when I joined the law school so many years ago. There is no power vacuum in the real world. And I also foresee there won't be a power vacuum in Star Atlas as well. If there's a region there's no competition to be ruled, man, this is one of the biggest assets that you can have in game in Star Atlas, because you can basically control everything by yourself and set production and everything that you love in the way that you want for your guild, for your deck, for your friends. So if we have a deck that's free, I foresee that's going to be quickly conquered by someone else. And you touched on something that I deliberately didn't talk about because I felt this would be maybe influencing gameplay and giving people ideas, but you are 100% correct. Players can choose to install politicians' crew members in other factions' DAOs just to mess up their politics. This is part of the political gameplay of Star Atlas. Espionage by politicians, this is also part of the gameplay system, and maybe we can even have structures in the game that once you learn that a politician is spying on your deck or something like that, you can call a vote in the region to expel that politician or to imprison him or something like that. I think this would make the game even funnier and more complex.
That's awesome. And just another thought off the top of my head. Earlier, when you talked about whales coming in and not having the capabilities of just becoming, a politician just because they would need every. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was thinking a way to circumvent that, and just again, this is theory crafting, would be, yeah, they can't personally play because they don't have the time, but let's say there's a grinder that's in a guild, an individual who plays 15 hours a day or who has no other responsibilities but to just play, then, and they're in the same guild or sector, the person who has all that polis could just give it, and
Yes.
basically, like I was saying, prop up an individual who is capable of being active to make these decisions in favor of the person who has the most polis, who would want,
Absolutely.
again, but again, you would
Absolutely.
just, yeah, as you said, there would need to be a consensus amongst the people because it would have to benefit the whole, and then it
Yeah.
wouldn't last as long. But yeah.
What you said is absolutely right. If you are a whale and you need to find vessels that allows you to deploy your capital in your favor, right? But again, now we create this equilibrium while the whale must make the people happy and the people might need to benefit the whale if they want to get their support. So again, we create another political layer where favors are traded and people reach agreements and things like that. And that people that the whale that represents the whale, they will need to deal with the region politics as well. Otherwise, the region will go to shit and doesn't make a sense to rule a shit region because it doesn't produce well. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then last thing, uh, when AI politicians, because I see a future of there's an NPC AI chat, ran politician, and people are in favor in that region to support the AI bot because they're making better balanced decisions than an actual human. So would we have out the gate already an NPC that's in that position and they would have to get overthrown in a particular sector, or is it just free range? You get in there, and the first one who gets the votes of the people's PvP, become
I
that governor.
personally, if you ask my opinion, I would be 100% comfortable with there being a NPC politician that rules the DAO at the beginning, and players need to grind their way to have more influence over the DAO than the NPC politician. But this is something that I would refer to the people, what they think about this. This is something that we can discuss. But yeah, I'm totally open to that for sure. I think it would be super
Awesome.
fun.
That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. So I think we're 20 minutes over the usual time. I have a meeting I need to join as well. So I will actually close it now. I'm going to be the party pooper here, but I'm going
Boo.
to actually close it now. But I think it was a great theory crafting. Jose, any closing thoughts? I think the community liked most of your ideas and the NPCs and everything. And they are asking for a diagram as well. They want a
Jesus,
diagram of this,
I'm
Jose.
awful with diagrams, man. Someone helps me.
Jose's a lawyer, guys. Diagrams, I don't think it's his thing, probably.
Yeah, I write lore. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Draw.io, they say, Jose. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's the request. So for next politics brew, Jose will have a diagram, guys. He's just DM me that he commits to
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I think it was a great brew, guys. Thank you. Like we always love to dive deep into cool stuff and into future stuff. Uh, we know that for some maybe these ones are difficult to follow, but I hope we did a good job explaining everything. And as always, this is theory crafting. This doesn't mean that it will make it, but if it does, then we did it together. Basically, we built this proposal
Imagine
together
that.
in how we see it. Yeah, imagine
Yeah.
that next in 5 years we have this politics career like fully developed, and it's you will remember this brew from 5 years ago. I like it. It's crazy, but yeah, I was also telling Falcor that we are 100 people talking about AI NPCs, the future of the DAO and politics on a random Wednesday afternoon, and you don't get that everywhere. You don't get that everywhere. I think the Stratless community just shows every day how unique it is what we have here. So I know I love it. I love it, and I really enjoyed the conversation. So thank you, Jose, for thinking about all these crazy ideas and sharing that with us, the
Yeah, man.
Polis
It's
Polis
I
Prophet.
I love this. I love being here with you guys discussing those crazy ideas. This is my passion. So, yeah, let's make the game better. Let's think about cool stuff. Let's introduce new systems and try to come up with the best results for Star Atlas, guys. Thank you very much for being here today and helping us theorycraft about this.
Awesome, guys. So this was the Atlas Brew number 71, and we will see you next Wednesday, as always, at the same time, my friends. And we'll be talking about ship configs v2 next Wednesday. So
Oh, spicy.
Lord have
that's
mercy.
as spicy as it
Be
gets.
gentle.
Yeah, as spicy as it gets. So yeah, see you next Wednesday at the same time, my friends.
Will
Thank
Chip
you,
be
guys.
there?
Ciao.
See
Maybe.
you.
Ah,
Bye
ciao,
bye.
ciao.
Bye.